There is a mistake which is mostly made by very many investors, also by very many farmers who want to get into poultry farming. Very many people, they normally see hatching process as it is determined by the machineries which you are going to use. But it is a lie. Today I want us to look on the egg handling process from the time you get the eggs from the chicken to how you handle it up to the place you are going to take your eggs now to the hatchery out of the time you are going to produce your quality chicks. Number one, it is a myth when farmers say this machine is going to give me 90% hatch rate. There are very many factors. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce a egg. I'll be pronouncing it as egg, but bear with me. You are going to get the concept, and you also be able to implement the same in your poultry farm, and you'll be able to succeed. I'm shooting this video from my breeder farm. My name is Lenson Mumo, and I am a poultry farmer who runs this breeder farm, and I do hatching of Saso F1 chicks. I have my mother stock here, and we shall be getting now in the poultry house so that we may be able to see what normally happens. The process of producing the egg, out of the time we collect it, out of the time we package it, so that you may be able to do the same. You might be getting a low hatch rate and you are thinking maybe your machine is fault, but the problem comes now on how you are going to handle them. So guys, welcome, so that we may be able to show you. And today I want us to start from the most basic things. Number one factor which determines the quality of your eggs is your mother stock or the parent stock, which is giving you now the hatching eggs. Make sure when you are taking care of your mother stock from day old to the time that they are going to give you the first eggs, you take good care of them, because if they get sick and you treat them and they get well, if they are going to give you eggs for hatching, it means there is what we call the vertical diseases. Diseases will be transferred from the mother now to the kid. And this is just about genetics. Just the same case you normally get a family with a diabetes. You realize the grandfather was diabetic, the father was diabetic, and you realize the kid is also becoming diabetic. So it's something which normally also happens in the chicken species. So make sure when you are taking care of your mother stock, they don't get sick during the process of taking care of them, because you are going now to transfer the same mistake to the chicks, and the trend will continue. So number one, make sure you take good care of your mother stock. Let's go now in my poultry house so that we may be able to look on the basics on how you are going to handle these hatching eggs step by step. This is how my breeder house looks like. It's just a simple makeshift, as you can see. It is just as simple like this. I've always shown you. This is how it looks. Let's get now in the first cubicle. The first consideration you must put when you are keeping your mother stock is very simple, and I want to take you straight now to the lay nest. So I will be shouting so that I may be audible enough. I don't have my microphone today. So this is now the basic lay nest which you need to have into your own poultry farm. And I want to show you basic things which can affect your hatch rate from the time you get the eggs. So this is now the basic nature of our laying nest. It's 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. That is how it should measure. The next thing you need to understand, we have ensured that there is wood shavings here, and you can see there is some grass. Grass is the best thing you can use as bedding for the eggs, so that when the eggs are laid, they don't get any crack. So you can look at this. This is the egg which has been laid here. So you can see, because there is enough grass, when the chicken lays on this nest, the egg just bounces back, and it has zero chances of breaking. So this is the most important aspect, especially in the laying nest. If you don't know how to make a laying nest, this is a basic one which you can have in your poultry farm so that you may be able to succeed. That is the first and the most important factor. The next factor is about the ratio of males to females of this chicken you see here. What we have done in our breeder farm to ensure that we get 95% fertilization, we have ensured that for every 5 chicken we have 1 cock, so that we may have our fertilization level go up to 90%. If you are going to do less than that, you can go in the ratio of 1 male is to 10 chicken, but you realize it may not be effective because the males may not be able to service all the female chicken. So the second factor is about fertilization. That's why we have these males which assist us in fertilizing these females so that we may get fertilized eggs. So ensure that the ratio of your males to females is 1:5. You can have 1:10, but 1:5 is the most efficient because these cogs, they also get tired and they are not able to give more, I don't know how I can call it, but more seed, which is going to fertilize these good ladies, which you can see here. So ensure that you have done this. The next consideration, any egg you are going to get, which is a floor egg, you get an egg, you realize the chicken have laid either on the floor, don't incubate such kind of an egg, because what is going to happen, the egg is already contaminated and it will not be able to hatch. So ensure that you only incubate the eggs which are laid on the laying nest, which are very clean, as I'm going to show you when I go to where I store my eggs, so that you may see the most basic things which you need during the storage of your eggs. The third consideration, ensure that there is enough water for your chicken. If they don't take enough water, they are not going to give you good eggs, so that they are able now to eat the food first early in the morning, and later on they are going to take the water, then they are going now to ensure that they give you eggs. Ensure also you have enough laying nests. As you can see on this cubicle alone, we have one, we have the second one, we have the third one over the other place. Ensure that the laying nests are very many and that the chicken can be able to access the laying nest with ease. If you don't do this, you realize the chicken will start laying on the ground, then you'll be getting eggs which are dirty and which cannot be incubated, and you'll be running at a loss. Then you'll be getting a low hatch rate. Then you'll be thinking maybe it's because of the machine, but the problem you made in your poultry farm when you are collecting the eggs. So that is what normally happens during the collection of eggs, which can also affect now your hatch rate. The next step comes now on how you are going to handle these eggs. After you have collected these eggs, ensure that you handle them in the proper manner. Before you even get in the poultry house, make sure you wash your hands and you also disinfect very well to ensure that you don't contaminate these hatching eggs you can see here. And I want to show you the most basic things you need to implement in your poultry farm. This is the house where I normally store the eggs. What I have done, I don't have enough money to ensure that I have an air conditioner in this place where I'm going to store these eggs. But I store the hatching eggs should be stored between 17 degrees Celsius to 22 degrees Celsius. What I have done in most basic way, I have just ensured that I've tiled the room, and I've also ensured that I've also invested some little money on acquiring these plastic trays so that the eggs may not start developing during the process. And these are the trays I normally use now when I am collecting my eggs, the plastic trays. I normally use these trays. I collect my eggs to these trays. Then after I collect the eggs, they come straight from the poultry house to this place. After that, what follows is a process of sorting. This is what we normally do. These are now the sorted eggs. You can see very clean, extra clean. As you can see, they are very clean eggs. So there is no point in time these eggs are going to get any contamination. So this is how they normally look like. So what follows next, we normally remove any kind of egg, like any dirty eggs like this one. We normally remove this kind of eggs, any oversized eggs, any egg with blood stains, also an egg with cracks like this one. You can see this one we are going to remove it completely. This is what we have sorted. You can see this one, we have some one extra big egg. These are double yolk egg, and we also have some very little eggs, and we also have some cracked eggs. So the best size is this size of egg, the medium sized eggs, which are between 50 to 55 grams, which are now the best type of eggs which you can hatch in your poultry farm. From this now, we are going now to go to the next step, which is now the step of egg packaging. We normally use these paper trays to package the eggs for the purpose of transportation. And the one thing to note, never make a mistake of transporting your eggs, your hatching eggs, using these plastic trays, because they are going to get cracks, and if they get cracks, they are not going to hatch well. So you are going to run at a loss because you are going to get a low hatch rate. So make sure you transport them using these paper trays. We only package them in these paper trays during the transportation day. Then after we package them, they move strictly from this house direct to the hatchery, where they are going to settle for around 24 hours. Then after 24 hours is when the eggs are going to go through a series of serious disinfection. Then after the disinfection, they are going now to be set on the setter trays. Then they are going to be transferred now to the machine. The machine will be fumigated before the transfer of the eggs to the machine. Then the eggs will be now transferred to the machine to ensure that there is no bacteria which can affect the eggs. So these are basic one, and I'm going to show you the process of handling them when we get them to the hatchery. Out of the time they are going to stay in the incubator out to day 18, then we do a transfer now to the hatch window stage of 3 days. Out of the time they are going to hatch, and now we package them to ensure that our customers get the best of the best chicks from NEO-HEN farms. Guys, I am always here to ensure that not only you are not getting the knowledge alone, you also understand the processes and also the tricks in poultry farming so that you may be able to succeed. I ensure that you get the knowledge first, number 2, you get quality chicks, and number 3, you get a market access. Anytime, give me a call on 0717-213 and I will be able to deliver wherever you are, and you are going to enjoy the best chicks ever, which has been brought up by experts. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let's meet on the next video so that we may be able to continue on learning on how to start and run a successful poultry farm.